As the sun dipped below the horizon, Tower Bridge emerged in silhouette against the deepening twilight, its grand arches casting reflections on the calm surface of the Thames. The day's hustle faded into a soft symphony of city sounds, distant laughter mingling with the low hum of traffic, while the gentle lapping of the river provided a soothing backdrop. Beneath this iconic structure, Harold readied his modest vessel, the Dreamer. With each creak of the boat, he felt the familiar thrill of anticipation that accompanied his evening rituals. The air, rich with the scent of the river, whispered of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Harold paused, allowing memories of sun-drenched mornings spent casting lines with his father to wash over him. Those moments were foundational to his life as a fisherman, where patience and reverence for nature had been instilled within him. Tonight, with his pole in hand, the river beckoned, promising yet another adventure. As the vibrant hues of the sunset danced across the skyline, Harold drifted through his routine on the boat he affectionately named the Dreamer. With calloused hands, he meticulously organized his fishing gear, each familiar motion steeped in memory. The gentle rocking of the boat beneath the grand arches of Tower Bridge felt like a comforting embrace, a reminder of countless evenings spent in this sacred spot. Turning his gaze toward the river, Harold could almost hear his father's laughter echoing in the breeze. The lessons learned during those formative fishing trips flickered in his mind: patience, respect for nature, and the bond forged through shared silence. With each cast of his line, Harold honored that legacy, intertwining his past with the serene ripples of the Thames. The air thickened with anticipation, and on this particular evening he felt an unusual stirring, as if the river whispered secrets just beneath its surface, waiting to be unveiled. Harold leaned back in his little boat, the gentle rocking beneath the Tower Bridge evoking memories that tugged at his heart. As the sun dipped further into the horizon, he closed his eyes and let the cool evening breeze carry him back to his childhood, a time spent at the river's edge with his father. They would rise before dawn, rods in hand, ready to greet the day's first light. His father's laughter mingled with the chirping birds, creating a melody that still played in Harold's mind. Through fishing, he learned not just the patience it required, but the deeper lessons of attunement to nature's rhythms. "Feel the water," his father would say, his voice steady and warm. "It speaks if you listen." Those moments solidified a bond that defied time, a connection that was now as palpable as the river itself. They had shared whispers and dreams, lessons that now shaped Harold's evenings beneath the bridge. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows along the banks, Harold settled into his routine beneath the grandeur of Tower Bridge. The gentle rocking of the Dreamer became a familiar lull, luring him deeper into memories of countless evenings spent here. Each cast of his line felt like a greeting to the river, an invitation to reveal its timeless wonders. The city above buzzed with life, but down here, the world slowed, and he could almost hear the river's whispers echoing like distant laughter. With every ripple, he was reminded of past encounters: an old fisherman, a pair of lovers sharing a moment, city tourists enthralled by the bridge's beauty, all woven into the fabric of his beloved Thames. As twilight wrapped around him, Harold closed his eyes, surrendering to the soothing sounds, feeling both a part of the river and connected to those who came before, their stories forever intertwined with his own. As the twilight deepened, the air around Tower Bridge felt charged with a serene magic. Harold sat patiently at the edge of the Dreamer, the gentle rocking of the boat lulling him into a meditative state. The sounds of the city faded, replaced by the soft lapping of the Thames against the hull. He took a deep breath, inhaling the scent of the river, feeling it whisper secrets only the night could hold. Casting his line into the dark waters, Harold surrendered to the moment, embracing the anticipation that came with each ripple. The river, vast and ancient, had seen countless stories flow through it, and tonight he felt an unshakable connection to those tales. He closed his eyes, allowing his heart to listen, always aware that the Thames held mysteries waiting to be uncovered just beneath its surface. Little did he know, the river's magic was about to reveal more than just fish. As Harold cast his line into the tranquil waters of the Thames, the world around him seemed to quiet, a gentle solitude wrapping him like a comforting blanket. He closed his eyes for a moment, savoring the rhythmic lull of the water lapping against the hull of the dreamer. The evening felt ripe with possibility, yet as he focused, a sudden tug jolted him back to reality. Surprised, he instinctively reeled in his line, and to his astonishment, what emerged from the depths was not a fish, but a weathered journal, its leather cover cracked and worn. Intrigued, Harold pulled the journal closer, running his fingers over its surface. He could feel the weight of its history, the silent stories begging to be uncovered. With trembling hands, he opened the yellowed pages, a mix of curiosity and reverence coursing through him. As his eyes danced over the delicate script, he became aware that this whimsical find might hold the echoes of lives long gone, waiting to connect with the present. As Harold thumbed through the brittle pages of the journal, he was transported to a world long forgotten. The ink, slightly faded yet vivid with emotion, spoke of a time when London was cloaked in cobblestone streets and the laughter of lovers echoed beneath archways. He read of moonlit wanderings, where the poet, a kindred spirit, poured his heart into verses, inspired by fleeting glances and whispered promises. Each line revealed tales of love's dawn and the heartache of parting, painted against the backdrop of a city that never slept. Harold felt the weight of each word, a poignant reminder of his own youth spent angling for both fish and dreams. As twilight deepened, the river seemed to listen, urging him to embrace the past while holding tightly to the present. He whispered the words aloud, their rhythm guiding him further into the essence of the poet's soul, intertwining their destinies beneath the Tower Bridge. As Harold's heart raced with the thrill of discovery, the air around him shimmered with an otherworldly glow. The surface of the Thames bubbled in response to his presence, and suddenly there she was, Eliza, a ghostly figure in flowing Victorian attire, rising from the depths. Her pale skin seemed to catch the last traces of sunlight, while her dark hair danced elegantly in the gentle breeze. The moment their eyes met, a deep silence enveloped them, as if their worlds had collided in that singular instant. "Who are you?" Harold breathed, awestruck by her ethereal beauty and the weight of her gaze, which held centuries of stories. "I am Eliza," she replied softly, her voice like the distant chime of a bell. "I am bound to the Thames, waiting for my story to be told." As her words wrapped around him, Harold felt an inexplicable connection to her, a thread linking his present to her mysterious past. As the moonlight glimmered on the surface of the Thames, Harold stood mesmerized by the ethereal presence before him. Eliza's ghostly figure seemed almost woven into the fabric of the night, her Victorian dress flowing like water as she spoke. Her voice, soft yet resonant, carried the weight of centuries. "I was once a poet, inspired by the very streets that surround us," she began, her gaze distant. "But my words were lost like whispers in the wind, and I am bound to this river until my story finds its voice." Harold listened intently as Eliza shared fragments of her life, a love unfulfilled, a longing that mirrored his own fears of fading into obscurity. Her connection to the Thames was profound. It pulsed with the rhythm of her heart. In that moment, Harold understood that sharing their stories might just rewrite the fate that tethered her spirit. Together, they both sensed the potential for healing that lay ahead. As the ethereal glow of twilight deepened, Harold found himself drawn into a conversation that transcended time. Eliza, with her otherworldly grace, shared tales of her life in Victorian London, the vibrancy of bustling streets, the joy of love, and the heartache of loss. In turn, Harold opened up about his own journey, revealing the weight of solitude that often accompanied his fishing expeditions. They discovered common threads woven through their experiences, the bittersweet nature of memory, the solace found in the river, and the unyielding passage of time that marked both their lives. "Each ripple carries a story," Harold mused, feeling a strange kinship with this spectral presence, and each story deserves to be told. Eliza's gaze softened, and in that moment, they both sensed the power of their connection. Their narratives intertwined, forming a bridge of understanding, a shared longing that promised to elevate them beyond their respective worlds. As the moonlight glinted off the Thames, Eliza turned to Harold, her eyes shimmering with a blend of hope and desperation. "I have this poem," she began, her voice as ethereal as the mist rising from the water. "It speaks to the love I sought, the dreams that eluded me, but it remains unfinished, a fragment of my soul." She produced a delicate, tattered piece of paper, its ink faded yet still alive with emotion. Harold's heart quickened. Her words stirred long-dormant desires within him. "Let me help you," he replied, urgency fueling his voice. Together they pondered each line, weaving new words into her poem, their visions merging seamlessly. His hands, calloused yet gentle, brushed against hers as they reached for the same phrase. In that moment, the barriers of time and reality faded, replaced by an intoxicating sense of creativity and connection that bridged their worlds. For the first time in years, Harold felt alive, as if he were rediscovering a part of himself, long buried beneath the weight of routine. As dawn's first light began to dance on the surface of the Thames, Harold and Eliza found themselves entwined in a creative tapestry that felt as ancient as the river itself. Words flowed between them like the gentle current, each syllable infused with shared emotions and unspoken dreams. The air crackled with magic as they crafted verses that blended the old world with the new, each line echoing the joys and sorrows of their respective lives. Harold felt a stirring within, a long-dormant flame of inspiration igniting as he poured himself into their poem. Eliza, with her wistful gaze, breathed life into the words, her spirit guiding his hand. In this liminal space between the past and the present, their collaboration transcended mere art. It became a bridge across time, binding their stories and souls together. As the ethereal whispers of the Thames enveloped them, they knew something beautiful was taking shape, something that would echo long after the last word was written. As twilight deepened, an unspoken tension settled between Harold and Eliza. The glow of the fading sun cast soft reflections on the water, mirroring the internal struggle within him. Eliza's voice, usually filled with warmth, now carried a hint of melancholy. "I can't remain tethered to this world forever, Harold. My story must be told, but I must also find peace." Harold's heart ached at the notion of losing her. The bond they'd formed transcended the barriers of time and existence, weaving together two disparate lives in a way he had never imagined. He wanted to hold on, to keep the connection alive, yet deep down he understood her longing for closure. "What must I do?" he asked, his voice trembling. With a gentle smile, Eliza replied, "You must let go, for stories like ours need to flow, just as the Thames courses beneath this bridge. Only then will I be free."